Hello, hello. Welcome to the group reveal for the Chobo Star League Season 2. A couple of us here today to reveal these groups, have a chat, a bit of banter, a bit of talk on who we think will get out, what kind of groups involve some kind of death. With me from All Inspiration is G-Dog Casey, and from
How's
Team Unrivaled is Polar. How you doing, boys?
Doing
Hello.
good, man. Doing really good. Excited to get this group revealed and release the info to the people and start some conversation about what's going to happen in this tournament.
How you doing, Polar?
I'm good. I'm also very excited. We have a lot of great groups, and I'm really happy with the matchups that they've got. So I'm
Yeah.
ready.
For those that don't know, Polar is playing. And without further ado, we may as well get into Group A, which is Polar's group. We have last season's champion, the Zerg, P. Sosa, the Terran Dinkazi, Polar, who is joining us today, and Sinister, another Zerg player from All Inspiration. What do you think?
You
I'm
know,
scared.
it really sucks to start off with this group because I think that this is probably the best group where we're going to see the best games. But either way, I mean, I suppose that's going to happen when you have the last season champion in the first group going up against really solid Terran play, very, very solid Protoss play. And some would say, like with Sinistar, his builds are a mix of really solid for specific races and really crazy for other races. So it's really going to be a lot of good games there for Group A for sure.
What
I
do you
think
think,
it's
Polar?
interesting. I think it's interesting that Pete Sosa and Sinistar are going against each other because first off, they're teammates. So that's always fun. And I've seen Sinistar going against Koali, and that game is pretty much anything but standard thanks to Sinistar. So I don't know if that's his regular ZVZ, but I'm excited to see that. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
P.
going to be a
Sosa
good
picked
start.
Sinister, as far
Yeah,
as I'm aware.
there's a little bit of inside info that I have that I could probably shed a little bit of light on with that. There was like a bet inside the team that Sinistar said he was going to do something if Pisosa won the bet, and Pisosa did win the bet, and Sinistar never did what he said he was going to do. So Pisosa called him out first in Group A. I think that's probably the main reason why they're going to be doing that, which I think is pretty funny. And I don't know, man, because Sinistar does have like I don't know if he's necessarily a favorite in this group because Pisos is really solid, but you know he's got the know-how to put together something that could trick Pisosa. So who knows? That's probably my most interested matchup there.
And of
Who do you
course, I'm super
think's...
excited of going against Ninkazi. It's going to be a lot of
Yeah,
fun. I like Ninkazi. He's a good guy.
yeah. We think... who do you think is getting out of this group, Polar? I know you're confident
Me.
in yourself. Yeah, who do you think is getting out in second place, mate?
Totally. I think it's going to be Ninkazi. I
The Kazi
think
in second place?
I think Ninkazi can beat Pisosa. I believe they have versus before, and Ninkazi has beaten Pisosa. And unless Pisosa can pull out like a new bag of tricks, I think it's going to be Polar and Ninkazi. A little biased.
What about you, Casey? You riding your All Inspiration
You,
boys?
well, you can't go against Pisosa. I mean, he won the last season, so I really gotta put it up for him to probably finish first. Ninkazi could have made a lot of noise, but unfortunately just kind of dropped out due to not being able to make it, which really sucked for him. And Polar, I'm not 100%. I actually haven't seen any of your games too recently, but I've heard a lot of good things. So I don't know. Pisosa, and it's going to be a mix between Nkazi and Polar. I can't
Yeah.
choose.
I
Sorry,
think it
Sinistar, but
entirely... I don't think... Unfortunately, I don't think Sinistar's got a chance. It's kind of hilarious that Inkazi and Sinister are in the same group because they butt heads quite regularly as well. I'm kind of hoping they play each other for
oh yeah,
entertainment's sake.
me too. And
Um,
last time they played, Sinistar did win. So
yeah, right. If good Ninkazi shows up, who's got really good TVZ, I think he'll get out. Otherwise, it's going to be Polar and Pisosa. So if good Ninkazi shows up, though, I think he can beat Pisosa. But yeah, I think Polar like. 'Cause I'll speak on Polar's behalf. Like he took like 2 or 3 months off, but right at the time before he took the time off, he was at the height of powers in the CTL, and he was beating these players quite regularly. And I'm pretty sure he's got winning records against all of them. So if he's back to how he used to be, I think he's a big favourite to get out.
All right, well, all the more reason to make the group even more exciting, right? So
very intriguing group,
yeah.
Especially for that hopeful Ninkazi Sinister matchup. I would pay money to see that one.
Yeah. All right, Group B.
Moving on.
Yeah, we got a pretty varied group here. Literally all 4 races in this group with Canary the Terran, Ryuga the Zerg, Silky the Random, and Apocalypse the Protoss. So you can't get much more varied than that.
Yeah. Interesting group. Canary, quite a strong player, and like he was the underdog the whole way through the round of 8 bracket, and he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. He did the same in my league as well. Every time you think, nah, he's not going to win. He's like, his play is too obvious. He's too cheesy. Everyone knows it. He still somehow wins.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, again, 2nd place last season, so you really can't count him out. And he's always playing. He's always working hard and coming up with new builds like every time you see him. So it's he's always going to be a wild card, and I'm voting for him probably to be 1st place in this group as well.
Yeah, I think so. What about you, Cola?
I'm going to say Canary and Silky. I didn't know Silky, but I just looked at his kind of road to the CSL Season 2, and he did very well. He beat Ninkazi like 2-1. He beat Kiwi 2-0. Canary is definitely, I think, going to make it out. Canary is so strong. I think Canary will beat Apocalypse if Canary plays late game. Because I played one time Canary late game, and he was impossible to beat. I couldn't do anything against him. And the only reason I beat him in Couches League was because he cheesed me. So I think Canary just play late game and they'll just stomp.
He's really, really good. Silky is one of those random players who will hit you with incredibly refined builds no matter what the matchup is, and incredibly aggressive most of the time too. So he's got some really refined stuff going on, and due to the fact that he's random and his opponents won't know what's coming quick enough, I think he's definitely got a chance as well.
Yeah. The Silky, like, with his random, is he out and out better with one race, or?
You know what? I'm actually not 100% sure. From every time I've seen him, he's played different races, and he's looked really good all the time. So I honestly wouldn't be able to put a finger on his best race.
Apparently all 3... Oh, there we go. All 3 of them... everyone in this group, apart from Apocalypse, is Masters now as well. Which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. With the huge Master swing lately, everyone's hitting Masters. What about Group A? I'm pretty sure they're all Masters as well then, right?
Yeah, except Polar.
Oh, really?
But you're just coming back, though, you said, right? So you should be up there soon.
Sorry, soon, hopefully. I'm praying.
Soon.
It doesn't get clogged up.
Yeah.
Wait, Sinistar is Masters?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, Sinister's... Yeah, he did make Masters, yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Poor Polar.
Yeah, Apocalypse isn't Masters.
No.
Wow. Wow, the Protosses, we're slacking. We're not ladder heroes.
Yeah.
So do we all agree then on the predictions there? Canary and Silky?
Yeah. I think Canary and Silky are favourites.
Yeah.
Ryuga's... But... Yeah. Ryuga's good, but I don't think he can beat Canary, to be honest. I don't see it happening.
Looks
I'm
like
bank on the randomness of Silky.
TB Ham calling Ryuga 4-0 during this group. Yeah. That'll show us all. Well, I mean, that's the whole point of predictions, right? Yeah. Prove us wrong. Show some good games.
Hope so.
Be happy anyway.
Jeez, I don't want to go against a random person. I hope, honestly, I love Kiwi. I don't know Silky, but I love them too. I hope they get out. I don't want to miss a random person. They're so scary.
Yeah.
Group C. Moving on.
Group C.
Group C. The Terran Monk, Zerg players Trip and Winter Jr. and the Mech Master himself, Metalcore. This group should be very fun. We were talking before we went live here about this group that Monk and Metalcore have crazy good TVZ, probably the best in the league, but an atrocious TVT, and they're playing each other TVT first up, which I think is ironically hilarious.
Yeah, which also means that they could set them up for a TVT decider match as well, right? If things just go wrong for them against the Zerg
Yeah.
players, which I'm sure both of them don't want. It's a little bit of tough luck for them if they are TVZ specialists. Pretty much, I watched Metalcore the other day in Couchy's league. Um, I hadn't seen much of him recently, but I heard of his playstyle, and I thought that his opponent, who we'll talk about later, Raz Grizz, was going to just walk all over him. But Metalcore, he dropped one map, so he is beatable. But the ones that he won, he made them look almost perfect, like really good defensive mech until you just get too powerful to even beat, and that's what happened. He won that, so he's coming off a good showing in a league already, and looking to keep pushing it forward.
Yeah.
So he's my favorite for this group, based on what I saw last.
Definitely, metalcore is like TVZ. All I hear is that it's godly, that it's like absolutely amazing. And Tripp and Winter Jr. actually made it through qualifying points. They actually didn't win a qualifier, which is kind of scary when you're going up to somebody like Monk and metalcore. Monk's super good. I played him. Monk's strong point though is his TVP. So it kind of stinks that he didn't get like TVP in here. But I definitely think metalcore and Monk are the favorites.
Yeah.
I think it's a safe bet. What about you, Couchy? You haven't really.
Yeah, I'm Metalcore and Monk as well. I think Metalcore is probably my favourite to win it all. If he can avoid TVT, I think he's going to win it all, to be honest. He'd be my favourite to win it.
Yeah, it's a pretty big bet.
Yeah, if he's sober and not not getting a bit higher, I think, he's just unstoppable, except for TVT.
It's funny you say that because one of the first games I ever casted for CSL when I was first getting into it, or sorry, for CTL, when I was getting into it, was P. Sosa versus Metalcore. And within the first game, he's like, man, I wish I didn't drink so much last night before in the chat. And I was like, okay. And P. Sosa actually took that. But that was like season 7, so, lots of things have changed since then. But I'd be really looking forward to see a P. Sosa Metalcore rematch in the CSL. But I do agree with you. I think Metalcore is really going to make it far. I don't know if I can say he's going to win it all. I got to go with P. Sosa on that one if we're calling out winners right now. But I'm interested to see that match for sure.
Shall we move on to Group D?
Group D. This one I think actually is a good candidate for Group of Death number 2. I may be wrong, but I really like some of the players in here. All season 1 of CSL, I was talking about how good I thought Roxas was, and he showed some incredible good control and very good games in season 1. And you know what? I was even leaning towards him beating some of my own teammates in the later rounds, but that actually didn't happen, which was good for my teammates, but not so good for Roxas. I think that he has potential to easily make it out of the round of 32. But I think he got a tough group. Like Boss Terran, 1HP, and Drumhead are all really good players.
Yeah, Boss Terran, he's had some pretty epic games against Stark in TVZ, just playing that Avillo mech style. Yeah. But he's able to play Bio as well, which is kind of scary for a Zerg player. But yeah, the Roxas 1HP matchup's kind of interesting to me because 1HP, pretty good Zerg player, but relies quite heavily on Swarm hosts, and because they've changed now, he's still figuring it out. His play style, but Roxas has a really good ZVZ, so I don't know.
I'd lean towards Roxas number 1, and I mean I know 1 HP is good, but I think Boss Terran number 2.
What do you think, Paula?
I don't see Boss Terran getting out of this group only because Boss Terran has already lost to Drumhead and 1 hit point, and Roxas is really really good ZVT. So I'm gonna go Roxas and Drumhead. I think Roxas and Drumhead. I think 1 hit point. He's talked to me a little bit. I don't think he sounded too comfortable versus Protoss, so I think maybe Drumhead can take him there, and Roxas is just really good.
Yeah, he is really good. Something we should probably clear up here is TBHam corrected us in chat saying that actually the first match of the group is going to be the top 2 playing against each other. So I thought P. Sosa had changed his mind, so it's going to be P. Sosa versus Ninkazi to lead off the tournament, which is going to be epic. And
he told me yesterday it was the top versus bottom. Literally yesterday.
Well, he lied to you.
One word. Yeah.
I'm going to find where he said that, because I swore that's what he said.
So yeah, so we've been getting it wrong the whole first half of this, but it's no big deal. We got the groups up there. You can take a look and see,
Yeah.
what the matchups will be.
Doesn't change my predictions at
The
all.
most important is Pisosa versus Ninkazi, which means it takes away our Pisosa versus Sinistar sort of dream matchup, which may end up happening anyway, depending on the outcome of the first match. So
Possibly. We could see the Ninkazi Sinister matchup.
yeah, yeah,
I think that's probably more likely actually now, which is interesting.
yeah. It could be, and that's really good. As you mentioned before, they got some history together in real life as well as in CTL. So pretty cool. All right, though, we can probably move on to Group E now.
Yeah, Group E. Group E, the captain of House of Renegades, Protoss Doohickey, from Unrivaled, the three players, Raz Grizz, Blaze, and Kiwi. The team feel is real in this group. What are your thoughts, Paula?
Doohickey versus Raspberries. I love Raspberries. I've played a lot of games with Raspberries. I think Doohickey will be able to take it. I think I was talking about this before we started, but I think Doohickey is the strongest Protoss in the league. And other than that, I think Blaze. Blaze just works so hard. He's so smart. He knows a ton of different builds. He's going to do really well. Kiwi is interesting, though, because, again, like, random, to me, that just puts a whole spin on things. So I think if Blaze can beat Kiwi, Blaze automatically makes it out. I think he could do first, because I think he could beat Doohickey.
Yeah, especially if Blaze and Doohickey meet in that winners matchup, I think Blaze is a massive favorite because TVP is his best matchup.
Out of the players in this group, the two that stand out to me are Raz Grizz and Blaze. I think I also agree that Doohickey's really good. I don't know too much about Kiwi, but being a random player, I can only assume craziness, for being stereotypical. But with the crispness I've seen with Blaze and his builds, especially against Protoss, as you mentioned, Couchy, he's really, really good. And seeing Raz Grizz tear through to the finals of the Couchies League and fine-tune
he's trio with Sale. Like,
yeah.
Zale is really good Protoss.
Exactly. Yeah, if he didn't hit Masters as early as he did, he might have competed in this tournament himself and been a huge favorite to win. He's really, really good. And Raspberries just slapped him down with really specific builds that were fine tuned for him. So
I was so surprised.
Yeah, and that shows preparation, which I'm not saying all of these players are not going to prepare, but when you see things like that, I think there's a little bit of extra work that goes into it. And Raspberries is probably my favorite to win that group, with Blaze coming second.
Yeah, Blaze avoids TVT as well, which isn't his strongest matchup, which is good for him, I think. And yeah, be interesting as well. But team kills will be rife.
This is early too. My team had some of the same thing. Group A and Group B are packed full of all-in players, with 2 apiece in each of those.
What's nice,
what do you think, Paula?
I'm gonna train so hard with Razgriz and Blaze. Kiwi too, definitely Kiwi, but Razgriz and Blaze, I'm only in a group of Zergs and Terrans, and they have a group with a really strong Protoss. So we can just work off each other really, really hard. I hope
That's a good dynamic.
Razgriz or Kiwi wins. Sorry, Doohickey.
That's a good dynamic, actually. You're right, and you have really good practice partners to help you out with Pisosa and Ninkazi and Sinistar alike. So, yeah, that's a good point to make there.
Moving on to Group F. We have Terran player from Australia, Mr. Lando, Zoe player Chimera and World is Doom, and another Terran player, Maniac Jace. What do you think, Casey?
Right away, the 2 players that stick out are Mr. Lando and Chimera, and they're actually going in against each other in the first match here in Group F. So right away, one of them's going to have to take a loss. Lando is another TVZ sniper. He's really, really good TVZ. Extremely confident, and he plays a lot of games. And I really got to go with him as the number 1 coming out. And Chimera would be my number 2 choice because I've got to cast a few of his games in CSL or CTL, and he just looked really solid. He's beaten Pisosa on a number of different occasions, so I know he's good enough ZVZ. And ZVT, I'm not 100% sure, but if you can be good at ZVZ, then I always think your ZVT can be good as well, because in my opinion, ZVZ is really hard. So I assume that those two players are the two that'll make it out.
Yeah, I'm just a fault of just not knowing the two para OP players, World Doom and Manny AJ. So I just haven't seen enough of their games. I know they both got through qualifiers directly though, and Chimera got through on points. I don't think Chimera's going to get out, to be pretty honest. I think Lando's a pretty easy, obvious favourite. But the other two, I just couldn't tell you which one of them.
Well, we need to have some wildcard groups in here, so that one would be labeled as that, I think.
Yeah, it's good for the Para OP guys getting involved though. New clan, they've got what, 6 players in CSL, which is pretty cool.
6 is it's a pretty good number. They came
number.
in and did a great job, and I mean, the longer they're around, the better we'll get to know their players. That they'll start making names for themselves by taking part in tournaments like this. So, I mean, again, same thing. Like, just because we don't know you and we can't predict you to win doesn't mean it's not going to happen, and that's how you're going to get known. So, show us some good games. Prove yourselves.
What do you think, Paula?
You guys were just talking about how Zale's like wiki good, right?
Yeah.
Because World is Doom beat him in the qualifiers 2-1. But that actually really surprises me. That makes me... I don't want to doubt him. Like, I was originally going to say, like, Mr. Lando and Chimera. Probably Chimera over Mr. Lando. But now I'm going to go... Let's have some fun. I'm going to say Chimera and World is Doom.
Wow.
Oh, wow. No
Kicking Lando out there, eh?
Ballsy.
I know Mr. Lando is really good. He was really big in, I think, Season 8. And I heard just so much about him. I really didn't want to go against him ever. Luckily, I didn't. But
he can be streaky, though, sometimes. Like, there's sometimes where he's incredibly good and he just looks unbeatable. And then sometimes he'll drop a map where you're like, like, I thought you should have won that. So, if he prepares himself as hard as he should for a tournament like this, then I think it's almost a no-brainer. But, I mean, you're right. The other players can over-prepare, and they can, if Lando has an off day, he definitely might not make it out.
Indeed.
It could be fun. I just want to see Mr. Lando versus Chimera. I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, for sure. And we will. It's going to be the first game of the group, so awesome.
You can watch that.
All right.
Group G. Take us away, Casey.
Well, this is the Zerg group where we have the Zerg Nefarious, the Zerg Cut Your Ribbon, the Zerg Barcode, and the Protoss player Harrow. I've had a little bit of experience with Nefarious and Harrow. I think both players are really good. I think Nefarious is a favorite to make it out. The Barcode is the unrivaled Barcode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I figured that.
It
But
is,
you can never tell. He's also good as well. So on the top of it, I'm saying Nefarious and Barcode making it out. Harrow has potential as well, and I don't know who Cut Your Ribbon is. I haven't seen him before.
Yeah. Another player that we just don't know about. Like, Harrow is like really good, and if his PVZ is good, he'd be kind of licking his lips with this group. Nefarious obviously pretty solid. Made round of 8 last year. Barcode's got really good ZVZ. It's probably his matchup in my opinion. So it's very interesting. I think anyone can take it, to be honest. I think it's just going to come down to who's playing the best on the day in this group. I think I could see any one of these combination of players getting out.
Awesome.
Harrow has an advantage.
Yeah, Harrow definitely has an advantage.
Like, he can just practice his verse there, come up with a very strong, like, a few all-ins, a few cheeses, and then, like, practice his late game. So it's really nice that he only has to practice one matchup. And Barcode ZVZ is really good, and so is Nefarious. Nefarious is just really good, period. I don't know who's going to make it out. I'm going to say Harrow makes it out, and then either Nefarious or Barcode. I'm going to go Barcode for you, our pride.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it could be anything. So that's going to be a good group to watch, I think. Lots of ZVZ and PVZ, and it'll be fun.
Shall be fun. Moving on to the last group, Group H. we have the Zerg player Koali, and then a plethora of Protoss, Sin Prime, Nicro, and Dark Blue. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Dark
Well,
blue quality.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say the same thing. KO Ali is definitely a really good player and always fun to watch, and really well mannered as well. He's one of my favorite to
He's
watch.
literally the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah,
Like, have a
So-
conversation with him. The nicest person in the world.
so you're always rooting for those players to do well. And Dark Blue is a really crisp Protoss player as well. I believe Nicro. I don't want to say anything because I could be wrong, so I'm not 100% sure. But Nicro has made some splashes around the place, right?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, well maybe maybe I
I
just
know Dark Blue was pretty untouchable. Yeah. Dark Blue was pretty good in the CTL last season, getting a record. The good thing for Koali here is he avoids ZVZ, and so he can just practice EVP, and he's got
Yeah.
a pretty good Protoss against a player in Unrivaled in Polar to practice with. So I see him coming out of this pretty easily, actually. Dark Blue is really good, but if Koali just practiced EVP, I don't think he'll be beaten, to be honest.
Oh, I'm looking at how Necro advanced. He advanced by beating Raspberries, 1 HP, and Barcode. So his EVP is actually probably pretty good. His EVP
He was pretty
knows
good,
what's
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Wow, that changes it for me.
Those are some
now I gotta
quality
say
players.
KOali. Damn.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
then
know
it comes
he
down to
said
PvP, and who the hell knows what's going to happen with that?
Yeah. Jeez.
Lots of
Like Sin-
flying units.
Yeah, Sin Prime got in to the groups based on someone dropping out, I'm pretty sure.
I think it says qualification points.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got through because one of the players had to drop out, though. So he was on the real bottom of the qualification points.
Oh yeah, he replaced
Yeah.
Zealous.
Yeah, there you go. From play. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still going to be an interesting group. I think all the groups were put together really well, where we're going to see a lot of good games and a good representation of the best 16 players making it out. So, there's going to be some groups where I think it's tough luck for some of the players. Group A is a fine example of that. Group D
Yeah.
as well, where there's also Group E even, where there's players who are going to not make it through that if they were in another group, maybe they would because of how good they actually are. So, I mean, we're going to have some upsets for sure, and we're going to have some some people that we expect to make it through. But overall, I think we're going to see a lot of good games, and I'm really excited. Like, CSL gets me pumped up. I don't know why. It's just like the best of CTL, All-Star League kind of thing, and it's just awesome to see, especially now as we get into Season 2 and then Season 3, and we start having rivalries and rematches and things like that. It's going to be so fun. So, really excited to get started. And I think TB Ham said it was next Friday we're going to be getting started with Group A.
Yeah.
I think.
I think 4 days straight we play. I'm not sure if it's Group A through D like that. It might be. I don't know. No, apparently there's dates and times on the Wikipedia, which is nice. But yeah, 4 days straight of CTL games. Should be good. CSL games, sorry. Groups should be interesting. Games should be played. Casted on this stream by probably not me.
You're not doing any casting?
I'll do 1 or 2 groups, I think. That's about it.
You gotta be my group. Come on, man.
Maybe. I got real life and stuff.
Ooh.
Gotta work. Yeah. Anyway, any other thoughts, gentlemen?
I really like how you said Metalcore was gonna win. I thought that was, I don't know, no bad on Metalcore, but I think that was a stretch.
Who do you think?
But who knows? Maybe who do I think is gonna win? Besides
fun.
me, who's gonna come in second?
Yeah.
Who are
Still
you beating in the
biased.
final?
Yeah. I'd say, geez, I feel bad because I want to say like the first players in the group just because they were from like last season, but like not just because they were from last season, but because they're like really good. Like I'm seeing like Doohickey, Roxas, Monk. I think Chimera could possibly win it. I think Dark Blue could definitely win it. Oh, jeez. There's just so many good players. And
There is, and that's what makes it so good, actually, because we know we're going to see some big clashes.
Mm.
definitely. Oh, man, when it gets to, like, round of 8, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be...
Yeah.
I'll say dark
This-
blue. Dark blue's going to
Yeah.
win.
Dark blue.
Dark
Fair
blue.
enough.
Well, he's going to come in second.
He's gonna come second. Yeah, okay. You're gonna beat him PvP in the final, are you?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Got
I
it.
don't want to have a PvP. I don't like PvP.
Yeah, well, there we go. Each of us picking a different race. I'm going with the Zerg P. Sosa, Couchy going with Metalcore, and Polar going with Dark Blue or himself, both of which are Protoss. So, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to get started.
Indeed.
Are we missing out on some important information that we're supposed to share? I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, guys. Tune into the channel in about 4 days' time or so for the groups. Catch you later.
All right. See you guys later.
See you guys.
Cold light falling on the ground. Long day, but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds. Long wait, but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions